Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one for you this morning. We're going to get into this. Let's talk XRP price. We're going to hear from some of these analysts that have been spot on about where they think we are right now and where we're going. We're also going to talk and hear from Charles Hoskinson, and there's some breaking news for the Cardano network there, which is actually really exciting, as well as some thoughts from Charles Hoskinson as well about other crypto in this space. We're going to hear breaking for Flare Finance, working with a leading stock exchange in Australia. That is absolutely massive. By the way, keep an eye out for Mickey B. Fresh and myself. We're getting the band back together. We're going to have somebody really, really cool on the show, and we're all three going to sit down together. And a dollar collapse in the works. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A big warning from a major U.S. investor. And by the way, there is new news in the Ripple case, and it is not good for the SEC. We'll discuss. Let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. This one comes from Rob Licker. Shout out to you, Rob. And he reminds us that governance, everybody, let's keep the chains rolling. And he's absolutely right. We just had the Kava upgrade to Kava 5, but keep it going. It doesn't stop there. They are working very hard to make this a truly decentralized platform at Kava where you can earn high yields. Just look at the projected future of what they're doing. We just recently had that upgrade for Kava 5 and everything here that's in it and scheduled for that. You can see Kava 6 upgrade will be coming with an Ethereum bridge version 1 and many, many other things to come. So make sure you check that out. I just reminded everybody yesterday, or maybe the day before, that Binance DeFi staking launches high yield activity with up to 37+% on Binance USD. What? Yes, that's what's happening. And, this is the integration of the hard protocol as well with Binance platform. So this is very, very exciting. Make sure you check out all the high yield earning options that are available to you on kava.io. Let's get into the numbers this morning. 2.2 trillion plus for the cryptocurrency market space. Let's just go down to XRP right now at $1.63. We're up 2.35% on the 24 hour, and we're up 37.11% on the 7-day. A lot of that gains we have experienced over the last couple of days now retraced and had a bit of a correction or a sell-off here, and we're seeing it at $1.63. We'll keep an eye on that because we want to look at the range of the price throughout the day, right? Right now, ranging between $1.46 at its low and $1.7399 at its high, sitting at $1.61 right now. We know that we found support above that $1.50 level that Dark Defender told us to watch out for. It slipped obviously a little below that and quickly found support back above it. And now we're sitting at 160 here. Now there's some good news to look forward to here, according to Crypto Bull 2020, who is one of these technical analyst experts. And I call them experts because Dark Defender, Crypto Wizard, Crypto Bull 2020, and a couple others out here, Credible Crypto, have told us before the moment we're in right now was going to happen that it was going to happen. And guess what? They were right. And I'm going to celebrate them because they were right. And more importantly than one of them being right, what I found very interesting here of late is that all of them, whether they use Heikin-Ashi charts or Fibonacci charts or some other charting tools that they really trust and believe in and know how to use very well, or a combination of all of these things, we are seeing these technical analysts line up on the same street saying we're going to the same destination, and that's on and upward. Crypto Bull 2020 says here, while everyone else keeps tweeting the XRP USD chart getting the breakout wrong, I have been telling you it's the XRP versus Bitcoin chart showing us when we will break out. We had a fake out to the downside and are now trading with independent breakout within 12 hours, he says. And I tell you what, This lines up with Crypto Wizard, which I covered in the morning video, who also suggested that the range that we are in and that kind of sideways motion now that we've kind of had the correction is absolutely healthy for XRP right now. And most everyone in the TA space is seeing further upside from here. So keep a very close eye on the next 12 hours and see if we get that breakout. Here's another one that was right in the technical analysis calls for DIY investing here as a technical investor, and this I believe we're going to see more of, and it fills my heart with warmth. I tell you, DIY investing says they officially paid their mom's house off, and I tell you what a beautiful thing. And if my mother was here, I would have been able to do the same thing, God rest her soul. But I tell you what, it touches my heart that there's people like this in this space, and that there's a very, very real goal. That is incredible. That's life-changing stuff. Shout out to you, DIY Investing. Now let's get into this, because Digital Asset Investor says Charles Hoskin is a smart man, and I'm inclined to agree with him. Listen to what Charles Hoskinson says as the founder of Cardano and a co-founder of Ethereum on Doge, and how it is a mockery of his life's work. It's a real story. Listen here really quickly.
Doge, the crazy, crazy coin that never dies and has been around our industry for quite a long time. Doge has always been, for our industry, kind of an inside joke, a pet rock, a fun, mocking cryptocurrency, lighthearted thing. And it just always seems to be around, but it's something we, for the most part, have never taken seriously. Recently, due to the efforts of Elon Musk, principally, and market manipulation by clever whales, Doge has become stratospheric, and it has become a haven for new entrants into the cryptocurrency space. Let's be very clear. This is a bubble. The price of Doge is not sustainable. It's going to collapse, and a massive amount of retail money is going to be lost very quickly. My belief is that after that bubble bursts, it will be a catalyst for regulators and lawmakers to get involved in our industry and hurt the entire industry.
And I think he makes a valid point here. I mean, it is a very, very valid point here. You know, everybody makes their own decisions, and we don't give financial advice. But if you're not hearing the words this man is saying, go back and watch this video again. Because I tell you what, it is really straight fire from Charles Hoskinson. And here's some good news on the side of not only shooting one across the bow at Dogecoin, but here is very good news for Cardano itself. A new algorithmic stablecoin called AGE-USD will be launched on the Cardano blockchain, making it the first for the network. Can you say interoperability? Can you say on and off ramps? I mean, I see Cardano's network taking shape in a great way here, and it's only going to get better. Remember, they just recently announced, I think it was 100 different companies would be moving to the Cardano network from Ethereum. Those gas fees. On to the next topic. From Michael Val 5 Links. Bloomberg reported that the asset manager is preparing to invest $84 million in digital assets, representing 1.5% of its $5.6 billion hedge fund. Crypto investment firm Distributed Global will oversee the initial allocation. I got to tell you, that's a lot of chicken right there. You know, let's just go into this article really quickly, because I want to just see I had it open earlier and then closed it like a dum-dum. European hedge fund Brevin Howard. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. I kept thinking Broussard, but it's Brevin. Brevin Howard to invest that $84 million. We will keep an eye on that. I tell you, the more you see the hedge funds and conventional markets moving into this space, I tell you, the more you have pressure on the regulators to get a unified framework on digital assets, which is a new asset class, just like the entire metals market. There's an entire digital assets market, right? Okay. And by the way, while we're on that subject, and not too very long from now, use case utility will be the watermark for what assets live and what assets die. Don't believe it. It's still true. Ripple to make available their on-demand liquidity metrics available for institutions and individual clients. Head of Ripple's dev platform, RippleX, Hammertoe, which is Matt Hamilton, says they responded to a tweet to Leonidas that this opportunity has already been discussed. And look, this is obviously about showing them the benefits of the use case utility that I just talked about, and really showing potential businesses and customers and already clients, previous clients that are already on the network, where their benefits are. They can evaluate the data and make adjustments, and even in some cases launch new use cases based on the information they're learning there. So really exciting stuff happening as it all unfolds here, and it continues to unfold with Australia's leading exchange, stock exchange, by the way, announces possible support for DeFi ecosystem airdrop on Flare Networks, Flare Finance. And it says Flare prices rises in conjunction with XRP due to an airdrop announcement with mainnet deployment. When we go into this, it says Australia's leading exchange announced possible support for DeFi ecosystem airdrop on Flare Networks, Flare Finance. And then it goes into so-called utility fork of the XRP ledger Flare Networks continues to expand, and so it does its first DeFi ecosystem, Flare Finance. The platform will offer its users a range of decentralized finance products and has piqued the interest of crypto community following the mainnet launch. Holders of Flare Networks Flare token will be able to receive an airdrop of the DFLR token in response to a user's question. The exchange CoinSpot announced via Twitter that they will likely support airdrop for Flare token. Although they stated that they do not have details, users will be informed on the platform. In response to the post, Flare Finance team made themselves available to CoinSpot to assist with possible integration. CoinSpot is one of the largest players in Australia. Through its platform, users can buy, sell, and use the exchange service for Bitcoin and 250 other supported cryptocurrencies. The platform is characterized by affordable fees and easy verification. So there you have it right there. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. And this is a touch on the SEC nightmare that is continuing to unfold for Ripple and is quickly becoming SEC's nightmare and less of Ripple's. Now, if you haven't seen the first video from this morning, I really highly suggest you watch that. But I do want to say that as a highlight here, the SEC has really gone after foreign regulators and the foreign business partners that are Ripple's business partners in an attempt to intimidate them to cough up information for the SEC. This is actually in violation, according to Ripple, of the Hague Convention or the Hague Rule or whatever it is, and federal law as it pertains to reaching to other countries. And it seems here that Jeremy Hogan is highlighting that this is not something a typical plaintiff could do, and it's not fair. So Ripple is calling dirty poker here, and he says, ask Phil Law, former prosecutor, this is typical government prosecutorial pressure litigation, applying pressure not only to you, but your business friends as well. This is absolutely unethical at the very least, and you have to ask yourself, as I did in the morning video, what is behind the overreach of the SEC to take these measures? I firmly believe it is the fact very quickly that they understand that Ripple was successful in widespread adoption across many different industries with XRP by doing some kind of pre-allocation, pre-contractual agreements like option contracts. And from that, I think that's why we have things that are concerning in this matter that, you know, we see in years past, they do simulations, right? Where they do like, you know, attacks on currency, simulation wars. How would these countries react? How would these things happen? This is a simulation of a currency war based on virtual currency and how it could affect other nations. In this simulation, and this is why countries and governments do simulations like this, because they know that there's constant threats emerging all the time, and you have to prepare by acting out these simulations to understand how to deal with certain threats going forward. In this particular simulation, Gary Gensler participates and talks about the fact that he warns that virtual currency projects could or would face an eventual reckoning with regulators. Let's listen to him say it right here, and it'll be followed by some information as well from Christine Lagarde that's been put in the footage. Shout out to Machiavellian here for the tweet.
We have been leapfrogged by others, by digital currency, by digital Chinese currency. Why? Because frankly, our central bank has been slow, and there's an appointment coming in January of 22. The president's got to decide whether to change over who's leading the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve runs our payment system. Right. And I think we need to move that Federal Reserve into the modern era.
Thank you very much. It's difficult to disagree with that finding of the BIS that climate change is actually a threat to financial stability. And what's more is that it's a threat and a risk that is hardly measured and taken into account by many actors. I believe that the action taken by suggested by the BIS, the action recommended by other central banks, I can think of Mark Carney from the Bank of England, for instance, are completely justified. And I was personally very pleased to see that the private sector is actually also taking action in that respect, and certainly would welcome the involvement of other operators, including the accounting firms and those that are setting the international accounting standards, as well as the large asset managers, as we've seen. I think we badly lack harmonized measurement systems that can be generally accepted and that are actually implemented.
A public-private relationship is what she's talking about there, just as we've heard from the BIS, right? And, all of this really asks and begs the question, why now? Why is this happening now? Why were they doing simulations a year or two ago, right? Or even longer? Why are we now hearing the pounding of the ground of the ECB approaching a digital dollar, accepting public comment before a pilot test phase? Why are we hearing that the Federal Reserve has said we'll be engaging the public with a CBDC this summer? Why now? Well, I think I've got a little peep in the window to why now. This is a clip from MHFIN here, and shout out to them for this clip here. This is a clip explaining Ray Dalio's stance on what he sees coming and why America is about to enter a horrific financial crisis. And I believe this is the why now.
Portion he labels the classic toxic mix. What this mix is and what it will lead to. That's the question we're after, and using reliable data, we look to extract from history where this is all headed. Embedded deep in this long post is this magical portion that theorizes what factors bring down countries and great economies like the United States. The first being the country and the people in the country being in bad financial shape.
When you get to the end of the arc, if money is hard, when it was connected to gold or it was gold, they always broke that link. And if it was soft, they would always print more money. And you can't raise living standards by printing more money. You can redistribute it. Certainly the money that is being received by those in the form of checks and they go out and spend it helps their living standards. But what it does is it diminishes the value of that cash, and it diminishes the value of bonds, because bonds are a promise to receive a lot of currency. And it shifts wealth to financial assets. It always sends stocks higher, like my 1971 lesson. It always sends gold higher. And it also always shifts the impact of currency.
And there you have it. It always shifts the impact of currency. Now, he's being very delicate, but straightforward on the other hand, in what he's saying. The words he's choosing very carefully are really talking about an impending doom to currency. And the fact that they've printed so much money and it's not backed by anything other than the government's promise. Well, it's no longer on the gold standard and hasn't been for a very long time. And what he's really pointing to here is the fact that there's going to be a pay-to-piper moment for all of this, right? And the changing world order is what he's talking about. And he's been tweeting about it on LinkedIn a lot. And he feels that it is coming. And if you wanted to know what the catalyst might really be for a brand new digital asset class, it's the collapse of money, specifically dominant currencies like the US dollar. Don't believe it. I believe it's still true. I don't think the US dollar goes away, but I think it's going to be a real watershed moment for the global reserve status of the US dollar. And if it should remain, it will only be allowed to as a unit of account, and the medium of exchange and the store of value will exist broadly in a bridge asset like XRP. That's going to do it for me. It's not financial advice, but that's how I feel on this morning. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I want to tell you, too, that we have, before I get out of here, by the way, I want to let you know that Unstoppable Domains is about to launch another campaign, and it's going to be massive, I'm telling you, massive. There's going to be a brand new category coming out of topics, and it starts on April 20th. It's going to be finance themed, which suits every one of us in the finance space, investing in something like XRP. And there will be things available like trader.crypto, portfolio.crypto, growth.crypto. Listen to this one. Cash.crypto. Listen to this one, rich.crypto. So make sure you check all of those out for sure. It is going to be something special when that kicks off, and I'll keep you posted on that as well. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know. Guys, CryptoTaxAudit.com is the best source for your taxes on crypto. They have a $35 a month program, which absolutely is much cheaper than an IRS audit. And with that, you get some pretty special perks like early alerts from the IRS should they be looking at your portfolio. Make sure you check that out as well. And I will catch all of you on the next one.